Alright guys, so here we are then in Monza for I think round 11, round 12, can't even remember. Anyway, it's the SRL 1 league of course, and we are starting off in qualifying. So yeah, 15 minutes we have in this session to get a good lap time in, which will hopefully be good enough for pole position. So yeah, you can see here the setup up on screen. I was a little bit hesitant what to do with the setup. You saw there I changed to a quick setup just to see what the engineer recommended me for a dry setup, and then I adjusted that on my own preferences, as you can see here, because fortunately this entire weekend is going to be dry. There is no % chance of rain in both qualifying and the race, so yeah, you don't need to think about that. You can just focus all on the dry running and on a dry setup, which I really like. I definitely prefer racing in dry conditions most of the time. But anyway, here we are on our out lap, starting our first flying lap of this session. And yeah, I think we'll be looking to do 2 laps in this first run in qualifying. So here we go into turn 1, braking at about 120 meters, I guess. Back down into first gear, really tight corner, of course. The chicane left or right and then left. And a bit of oversteer there on the exit, but nothing too bad as we now come through this very fast and flowing curve again, the corner, as we come up to the first sector split, which is going to be the second chicane of this lap. And let's see what we do. We do a 29.6 in the first sector, trying to get through this chicane here. Very easy there to cut the corner, which of course you don't want to do because your lap time will probably get invalidated. But look at that, we actually overshoot the corner and I've bottled it. So that's a little bit frustrating. Of course, doesn't matter that much. I mean, it's only early on in the session and it was only our first lap. There's plenty of time to do another lap, but yeah, it was a bit frustrating because I was on quite a good lap there, and of course, yeah, you want to get the banker time in, and of course we can't do that by spinning out into the first less mode there. So yeah, that was a bit frustrating, but I wasn't too frustrated. I mean, yeah, there's probably a little bit of fire inside yourself now because you are a little bit more desperate to improve now, or to get a good lap time in. But it wasn't too bad. So yeah, just closing off the rest of this lap now, putting the engine up into Rich Mix 3 again to yeah, start our second lap of this session, which is hopefully going to be our first representative lap time, because of course the lap time we will set now isn't anywhere near the times we should be doing. We do a 38.4, so that's very slow, of course, understandable because we spun out during our first lap. So here we go again, coming into turn 1, braking as late as you dare, trying to not cut the corner. It's also easy to get a warning here, actually running it out. Well, that was actually quite good. I don't think we touched the gravel there, as Andrew Hef sets the fastest time of a 1:26.0. So yeah, we'll be looking to beat that in the second lap now. So coming into the first sector, let's see, we are going purple, so we are improving on both Andrew and my time set before. A little bit of oversteer there on the exit, but nothing too bad. Now coming into the first lap again, this is where we made the mistake on our first lap. This time we take it quite well, but I could have hit the apex a little bit better there to carry a bit more speed through the corner. This was a good corner though, bit of oversteer again on the exit, but this is looking to be a pretty good lap so far. So now open up the DRS for this back straight and coming up to Ascari corner again, a very tricky corner, probably the most difficult corner complex of this circuit. Still going purple, although I have a snap of oversteer there on the exit of the first spot of the Ascari corner, so that's gonna cost me a bit of time, probably a few tenths. 1 lap of fuel remaining in the car, so we probably have just enough fuel to complete this lap. Now coming into the final corner, Parabolica, and carrying as much speed as possible as you can through there as you now come up to the line. What is the lap time going to be? Is it going to be good enough for pole position? No, it is not. We do a 1:25.444, which is just about shy, about a tenth shy, I think, of the time set by Alex Benechetti, who is now professionally on pole position. And I still kind of pushed him for this lap here, but as you can see on the right there, I only have 1 lap of fuel remaining, so there's no way we will be able to complete this lap. So I will just come into the pits after this lap to yeah, reload the car with fuel and change tires and stuff like that. So this is probably the end of the first 10. We still go green under the time of Alex in the first sector, despite me not pushing at my full potential. You can see that on the right, I was about a 10 down on my time I set before this. Like I said, I backed out of it there. You can see that I put the engine down into Lee Mix. So yeah, now just cruising back into the pit lane, to set ourselves up for the second run in this session. As you know, come through Ascari again. This time actually taking it quite well there. I still go green under the time of Alex, so despite being in lead mix and not pushing anymore, I'm still actually going underneath the time of Alex as I cut the corner there through Ascari. Doesn't matter because I wasn't gonna complete the lap anyway. But yeah, just coming through the final corner now to peel off into the pit lane. We just ran out of fuel there, as you can see, 0 laps of fuel. You can probably hear the car chugging around since there is no fuel remaining. So actually pretty well timed there because we were close to the pit lane. So yeah, if you know me a little bit, then you know that I absolutely want to get pole position. Not necessarily to start from pole position, but just because, I don't know, I just want to see myself at the top. And I want to prove to the other guys as well that I'm the quickest. So I don't know, I just like to get in pole position just purely to, yeah, I don't know, give the knockout to the rest of the field or something, to just show what you can do. So I'm definitely not happy with P2. I want pole position, I want P1, not P2. So I'll be trying my best to, yeah, go out again in this session. I'm not sure, there is about 4.5 minutes remaining, so I don't think we have enough time to get 2 runs in. So this is probably going to be our last run in this session. I don't know how much fuel I did in the car though. If I would decide now, I would probably do about 5 laps of fuel in the car to do maybe 2 or 3 flying laps. But I think I did 3 laps of fuel in the car, so that's only good enough for 1, maybe 2 flying laps if I really have a lot of fuel efficiency. But yeah, now coming out of the pit lane for our second run in this session. Still in P2, so nobody behind me has managed to improve that time, or at least not their position, maybe their time, but the gap maybe wasn't big enough to improve a position. So yeah, still in second place with Andrew Hef behind me in third. Dennis Knoeknecht there in fourth place. I don't know if he has set a really good lap time or if the rest of the field hasn't really set a good lap time yet, but P4 is definitely above his standards. But yeah, coming through Ascari again, this time actually taking it very well. Of course, there's no pressure anymore on me, so every time when I have no pressure, I take corners very well. And every time when I'm on actually a flying lap and I have a lot of pressure, then I absolutely screw up every corner. Anyway, 5 minutes left in this session now, I think. Yeah, so we need to hurry up a bit if we want to get more laps in, because yeah, I don't know if we have enough time to go into the pits after this lap and then go out again. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to focus on this lap now, our third flying lap of this session. Here we go, coming into turn 1, braking just after the 150 meter ball. It's clipping the apex here of the 2 chicanes and trying not to run it out wide. I actually did run it out wide there. I dipped the wheel into the gravel trap, so that's definitely not ideal. That's probably going to cost me about a tenth or 2 as you now come through Curva Candy again and coming up to the first sector, braking under the bridge there. Let's see what our sector time is. We are 4 tenths down on our time, actually overshooting the chicane there. Didn't get a warning for it, so I'm gonna push on her. It might have actually won us a bit of time there as we now come through the first Lesmo again, really carrying a lot of speed through that, running it out wide, just about missed the gravel trap there. Now the second Lesmo here hitting the apex as well, really running it out wide there, absolutely on the edge there as we now open up the DRS for this back straight there. And this lap is looking pretty good right now, apart from the first 2 chicanes. Now coming into the second sector again here, purple into the Ascari chicane, but I actually cut the corner there, so this lap is invalidated, and that is so frustrating. And you can see there on my wheel movements that I was clearly frustrated there. The steam was absolutely coming out of my ears. I was so livid about that. I just couldn't believe that I was on such a good lap and then you just got robbed by getting it taken away by cutting the corner there. It was probably rightly so as well, because I clearly cut the corner in Ascari, but still, it is so frustrating. But we have to abort this lap now, we have to abort this run, because we have to come into the pits now, because I don't have enough fuel to yeah, complete the run with about 4 minutes remaining. So yeah, now exiting pits again. We have refueled the car with just about enough fuel to do 1 flying lap, I think, and of course with fresh option tires. And with about 2 minutes remaining in this session, we are only able to get 1 lap in, which needs to be good enough for pole position. 1 chance, we have 1 lap left, and this of course makes you get some pressure on your shoulders, because you only have 1 lap left. What do we do there then? Oh no, we overshoot Ascari. It was on our out lap and I overshoot the corner, and this has already ruined my qualifying lap before it even started. That was so stupid. I can't believe I did that. I actually forgot about it while commentating. I can't believe I did that. I completely ruined my lap already without even having completed one corner in my actual flying lap, but I still wanted to push on just to see what I could do. But of course I was already frustrated when doing this lap, because I can't believe I just made such a stupid mistake. It was probably just a loss of concentration or something, but anyway, 5 tenths down in the first sector, already half a second, and yeah, there we go, we got the corner as well, and I'm just absolutely done with it. You can see by my wheel there, I was just absolutely frustrated. I was so done with this qualifying session, and yeah, tried to push on there, but it doesn't really matter. I bottled it as well. I was absolutely done. You can see here, I just paused the game, retired from the session. I couldn't be asked to complete the lap. And that's P2 then, in this qualifying session. Couldn't get pole, probably had the potential to get pole, but I just couldn't get a clean lap in, which is completely my fault. I was just stupid in that session. I mean, in my first lap, I bottled it in the first Lesmo. In my second lap, I actually managed, yeah, I had a snap of overtail on the exit of Ascari, and that was actually the only semi-competitive lap I got in the session. Then on my third lap, I was actually on a good lap, but then cut the corner in Ascari. And then on my fourth lap, I gravelled it on my out lap, cut the corner in the second chicane, and gravelled it on the second Lesmo. So this is probably the worst qualifying session of the season for me, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with P2. I mean, sure, it's decent to start from P2, but I wanted pole position, and I was not happy. I was actually quite disappointed to finish in P2, because this is like the first time in this season that I'm not on pole position. I can't even remember when the last time was, because usually I am used to always being on pole position. But anyway, that has probably spoiled me a little bit. But yeah, that's been it for this video pretty much. I hope you've enjoyed it, despite not really having a successful qualifying for me. But I'm sure Alex enjoyed it because he's on pole position now. Anyway, if you're still watching, I really appreciate that. Let me know in the comments. If you actually are, even after, well, I guess 12 minutes or something, we are rambling on now. So yeah, that's been it for this video. If you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and then I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.